guys, Zoe here and welcome back to our channel. I'm so excited to introduce you to an IMVU friend and creator, Deadly Sin. We kicked off True You this month, which is a campaign that works to illuminate a lot of the more unique features that you can find within our catalog. And we tapped Deadly Sin to create a new body mesh for us, and today he's going to show you how to texture upon that body mesh. So without further ado, we kick it over to Deadly Sin.
Okay, so now we're gonna make the texture. Just gonna load a texture from any place you'd like to bring it. I'm just bringing this jean texture, and I'm pretty sure this one is not seamless, so we have to be a little adjustments when we get. So now I'm just gonna make here a selection of the mesh, of the place where we're gonna make the texture on, just using magic wand, and I'm gonna invert this and then use selection tool over here and make sure I get a nice soft on the edges. It doesn't look pixelated or distorted around the UV map. I'm gonna play a little bit with the settings. I think I have the wrong selection, so I'm gonna select reverse again, and now it should work just fine. Then I'm gonna add a color to this with the new layer. So we have our mask. Now just multiply, lower the opacity so we can see what we're working on and still see the edge of our work, so we can see the UV map still. So now we're gonna grab this this texture. We're gonna bring them over right here. I'm gonna scale so it looks better on IMVU and it matches the scale of our mesh. Now, it's always good to find seamless textures. I believe this one is not seamless, so I have to do some healing brush to compensate in some parts so it doesn't look symmetric. Or you can do like this, put one on top of the other to fix a little bit, but you can see the line over there. Sometimes you need to work a little bit on it, so make sure your texture looks nice and doesn't look so repetitive. The texture, we're going to just merge layers here. Drop it down on the mask so it only cuts only the place where we have the mask. Now we're going to change the color. We just put the hue saturation, and we can change a little bit the color like this. I'm gonna go for this grayish color. So later we can change the color if you'd like to. Just come here to the hue saturation, just change it again. So now I'm gonna grab the pen tool here and I'm gonna make a line here. Just pen tool, select. We make sure we have color, and then we put one pixel brush. The color needs to be white. And then one pixel brush, and then we stroke path with the pen tool, select all, stroke path, brush, okay, and then we get a line there, just like that. We put an outer glow here, so it looks like that shadow effects around the edges. So we play a little bit with the range, just find something you like here. Now we can play around with the opacity modes here and find the blend modes and find one you like the most. In my case, I'm just gonna go with normal because I like it. Just gonna save, and we're gonna test it to see how it looks on IMVU. It's important to keep looking how it looks before just gonna find where the textures are and just upload them here. There we go. So I believe the texture is a little bit too big. So we're gonna scale this a bit more. Just duplicating and fixing the pattern here. It looks so much better. Now we're just gonna flip the texture so we can see how it looks from the other side. These are the lag, so don't worry about it. We're just using the same texture for both because we can just flip it. Just fixing it a little bit, but it should be fine. Just so when we're working it doesn't look weird when we're looking to the other leg and it looks off. There you go, now it's better when we look at it, it doesn't look weird. So now we're gonna play with the pen tool again. We're gonna make a line here that cuts the gene off. The same technique that we did on the top line, the belt area. So we just do a line here. You can use Control to move individual between any point. Just gonna fix this line to see if we're on the right spot or not, but sometimes we don't know where the spot is, so we have to, you know, try and do it again. Now we stroke path, and we can just copy the effects from the other layer, right click, copy layer styles, and then paste. And there you go. So now we're gonna save, and upload it back on IMVU to test how it look. Make sure we are selecting the right leg over here so it doesn't look right, so we're gonna do the line again. It should be around here. The same thing, just pen tool, and then we're going to stroke path, auto glow, the same thing over and over again. Okay, that's better. Now we just need to fix a little bit the end part here, so it needs to go like up there. So instead of going this, you're going to go a little bit more to the left here. Pulling it a little bit like this here. Alright, so now it should be good. Now we're going to use the pen tool again, and we're going to do pretty much the same technique, but we're going to give a pocket now and some lines on the bottom. So it's pretty much the same process, so not much talking here. It's pretty much I did the same thing with those two lines. So, pen tool, stroke path, 1 pixel brush, white, and then put the auto glow to give that shadows in the middle. That's about it. That's really nothing else about this technique. So. And remember, you can always copy and paste the same layer style. We don't need to do it again. So. Now just doing the bottom line. And remember, always check your work over and over again. It's very important that you keep looking at it on the IMVU. Fixing that little tip over there. Nothing too fancy. Just making here the double line now. It just looks a little bit better. Stroke path, it's always the same techniques over and over again. So, but I'm happy with the result. They look alright. So I'm just gonna keep on going now. I'm thinking about making another pocket on the back end pockets. Again, pen tool, and we do the same thing again as we have been doing for a while now. So it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. There's no big difference. There you go. And now we stroke path the same way we have been doing for a while. Stroke the path, brush, make sure it's 1 pixel, because here it's kind of thick, so make sure you go on the brush settings, put 1 pixel white, and just stroke path again. Delete the path, and now we should have a little pocket here. Now the dimensions may look weird here, it looks small, but remember the mesh is 2D planar right now. So it may look a little bit smaller here, but then on the IMVU it will look nice. But even if we can always adjust the size and make it better for us. But just playing a little bit more with the outer glow there because I was not enjoying some shadows there. Now copying the layer styles and applying them to the pockets, the same thing as we have been done so far, nothing new. I'm gonna make here the, I don't know what to call this, but you know, where the line where you can put your hand between, like the line of the pocket there. Same thing, we stroke path, delete the path after we stroke it. And now we're just gonna save this, we're gonna have a look. Right, so I want to make it actually kind of big, so I just, you know, a simple Control-T and we can just make it a little bit bigger and on the spot. We just sharpen there a little bit so we can get more detail. At the end we sharpen even more. It's something it's always nice to do, is sharpen your textures for IMVU. And let's see how it looks now. And that's much better. So you guys can see, and then we can go. I can talk when I'm actually doing something different here. So now on this stage we're gonna start making like the shadows in our work. So we just pretty much make a new layer, Get a soft brush. Make sure we're using black here, or a little grayish. Put soft light. I like to use soft light or multiply, they both work. And just go like, you know, around and just playing around with the brush and making sure we get a nice shadow here. So sometimes it may not be the result you're looking for at first, like right now, but you can always, you know, keep trying until you find. You can use Gaussian blur on the shadows to make them softer and makes them look better. As you can see, the shadow already gives like an amazing difference in terms of the texture. I'm not really happy with these shadows yet, so I'm just gonna keep on trying. Just make sure you're using a soft brush and a big brush size. Just gonna make like a little bomb area there. Again, the Gaussian blur, so we can blur this, and now it's looking way much better now. I'm getting that, you know, pant jeans feel right now. Playing with the opacity. Now, this part, I'm getting ready to make the stripes. So these stripes, they need to be white, and then we can give like that, you know, like a fold effect. So normally you want to be in soft lights, you want to have a white and a small brush, and you want to make like a lot of strokes just like this, small strokes like this all the way down. Don't make them symmetrical, please. Make sure you really hand draw them so they look different. That's one of the key of this to look nice. As you can see, very simple techniques, but they start making a huge difference. Especially the shadow and the fold are going to make a huge impact in your textures. And remember, because the way we did, we can always then go back and change colors, for example. But yeah, the principle is there now. It's get a good texture. You can even make your own texture if you want by using like black and white patterns of jeans. But I find it easy to just find the texture online. There's a lot of textures online there that you can use. So now just fixing the opacity and now duplicating the layer. We Control E to invert the colors of the layer. Then we pull down a little bit and we get this, you know, this fold effect. And then we kind of have to smudge them after at the end a little bit so they kind of blend in with the texture. But so far they're looking already so great. But just a little touch of smudge so they actually blend in the tips, so they actually start blending in with the texture itself. So it doesn't look like something that we put there, but something that, you know, actually natural coming out of the texture. And the texture will look way more nice because now we have some shadows. This background is not really the best background for this, but you know, look at the difference just from those shadows and those folds. The texture immediately gains life. It's really impressive. So shadows are really the key to make a good texture. The lights. Just gonna use the Control T here, just doing some little changes because I think they were a little bit too big. We can add a little bit of shadow over here because we're missing some shadows here. Make sure it's on black. We're gonna go on the shadow layer and then we're just gonna smooch some shadows in the knee. And then just smudge it, so you know, doing the knee shape. Because the knee area there was kind of just dull. So now we should have a little shadow there. There we go. It looks way much better. Now we're gonna do some more folds around the knee area. Those folds are gonna be even improving our texture much better. We already know the technique, so we know we need a brush, white, do some stripes, Control E, and then, you know, invert the selection. You can make all the folds you want on the pants. Remember, folds are supposed to be natural looking, so make sure you're not symmetrical or copy pasting them. Just really draw them so they look, you know, natural. And then always keep trying until you find the stroke that you like. It's the most important part. And then smudge them. so you can get this blurred effect, but they like blend in. Make sure the layer is on soft light, and then we duplicate, Ctrl E, and then we pull down in this case, and then we start getting our folds just like that. Apply the changes, and there we go. Now we have some folds in the knee and the back. As you can see, the difference between one and the other, just the simple shadows and the folds. You can see from one leg to another, it's a big difference, and it looks really, really good. Now we duplicate the group, we merge the group. This is a very important stage, and now we're going to sharpen. We're going to smart sharpen, and this is going to give a lot of life to your texture at the end. If you do this at the end, make sure you have the other group there, so if you want to go back and edit it back, you can do it. So after the nice smart sharpen, this is the texture I used for the female. This is all the UV maps for all the parts that we're going to work later. I'm just getting here so we can make both pants, so we can have the both sides. We flip the image. Make sure the flip was right. Make sure everything is in the right spot. It should be, because the legs are symmetrical. Just looking for we need to take out the I don't know how to say this, that the lines in the crotch area on one side, on the other side, because we don't need it. That's why it's unnecessary. We only need the lines for the zipper on one side. That's what I was changing there. You can just delete all the old ones. Make sure we flip this. And it should be perfectly aligned. And now we test the other side, and we should have a very beautiful pants. And voila. Because I'm feeling that we need missing something here, like a button or something. Look like leggings. So we're gonna add some buttons and a few more things in here before we finish this. Yeah, let's just add a button here, so the pants look actually like pants. So we're gonna put a button on this side. Gonna do it here with pen tool. We're gonna stroke path, make sure we have 1 pixel and white. So we stroke the path. We have done this countless of times. We delete then the path. Oh, since I forgot to go back, I didn't have my layers here, so it's fine. Just fixing the position of this cut here. Now we stroke the path again, we delete the path, and now we put that outer glow. I just pasted because I still had a copy, but it's outer glow from the other lines. Just positioning this better. Now we make this a little bit large, but not too much, remember that. And we're just gonna add like a button here. Simple as it goes. Make sure you're using a hard brush for this. We want hard brush. And there you go. Simple white spot, and then now we're gonna play with the layers, and it will look way much better. Just finding the right size. I don't want too big or too small. I want it just right. And then we just put in a bevel and with the chisel soft, and we should get this button filling. Small little button there. And then we put outer glow so we get those shadows around. Fix it a little bit. And that should be it. That should be our pants texture pretty much done. Just putting here a color, but just testing around, see if we can find here a better, you know, metal color or like this gold color. But now with the inner glow, you know, just playing around with those settings until I'm just trying to find something that I like best. A lot of texturing is about experiencing with values and stuff. I'm just trying to find the right color and look for this little button, but it's just not happening the way that I want. So. So in the end, I just put a dot there. For the other video, I'm going to show a different technique. So we have two different techniques. Probably the next one I'm going to show is the most used one. This one is very used if you do everything by hand. Okay, so now doing the top texture, we're going to do this in different. We're going to go online. We're going to find a shirt we like, an image we like of a shirt. We're going to bring it in. And that's how we're going to do this texture. We're not going to create pretty much anything. We're going to actually use a texture from a source that you have anywhere, as long as you have the rights to use it. Just doing the same thing as we do the pants, doing my selections. We have a mask. It's always useful to have a mask in when you're So we have the mask. So this is the image that I went online to get it. We do a cut like this on the part we're going to use. We just paste it just like this. Very simple process. As you see now, we're using the mask, Alt and click, so he only applies the mask. As you can see, using this we can get it in the position that we desire. This technique is very used in IMVU. Everyone does this and looks bad, it gives good results, but meshers tend to do this a lot. I use this technique a lot, saves a lot of work. Now with the Lasso Tool, I just select this side of here, I do a fill, and I do a content aware. And just like that, it grabs it and it kind of automatically does for us. Now we can just get the healing brush, do some touches on places that look weird, like the pattern. So we Control C, Control V, and then we invert this. And then we just drag it right there. Now we apply the mask again, and now we use the healing brush. Just merging the layers here. There you go. Now it should work much better. Now we just fix this with pattern here. It's really working weird right here now. So we have to tweak until we get the result. Now we flip it and now look at that. That's much better. We're kind of making our texture symmetrical there. Now healing brush, give some nice touches. Now we just select the color so we can paint with the same color. With the hardness on the minimum. And we just smooth those areas around so it doesn't look so hard on all those areas. I'm gonna push this a little bit more, using here the distortion, like that. Okay, now we test it, see how our top texture is looking. There you go, our texture is already looking pretty good. We're gonna give now some details to this top. Like the same, we're gonna use techniques that we did on the other texture from the pants. There's really nothing else new besides this image tweaking. Everything else now is pretty much gonna be the same. So pen tool, we start doing some lines here, so we get those lines around here. There we go, we stroke path. Since the texture the UV map is very relaxed, we can do this kind of work because nothing distorts there. So it's always important to have a good UV map when you're texturing as well. Then stroke path, like we have done many times. Make sure it's on white color. And then we're gonna apply an outer glow here. That's inner glow. I need the outer glow. There you go. And we're gonna play around here with the settings until we find something we like. Gonna put soft light. Play around a bit with, and let's see how it looks. It's not bad. It's kind of right there. So. Now we're gonna do around the shirt. We're gonna keep using the same technique over and over again. There's not much anything here to explain. It's pen tool, brush, and same thing over and over again. That's pretty much it. So let's test our lineness. So I'm not digging this too much, this pattern here. So we're gonna have a little bit tweaking here. We're gonna do some tweaking on these patterns, these folds. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of texture from the middle here. Just Control C, Control V, so you can get just the folds around there, as you can see in the middle there. Just I'm gonna be playing then with the healing brush tool, just right there, so we can fix a little bit those folds there. We play around until we find something we like. So in this case, I decided to just smooch to match those folds. Again, it's a lot of tweaking until you find what you like, using healing brush, smudge, until you find the result that you really enjoy. Sometimes it's okay to try like big patterns like this to fix some areas. So we decided to go and change the way I was approaching this, and I decided to go healing brush harder on those areas in the end there, just like so. Just so I fix those patterns. So as again, I use history a lot, go back and forth with healing brush, fixing those little details. It's looking way much better, this back part. Still not perfect, but way much better. So now we just select the color there, so we're working with same color, and we're gonna fix here the little ends, so they're smoother. There's a nice blend in. Let's test it again. Way much better. Now in a new layer we can add a little bit of shadows. Just this darker gray, and put some little, shadows around. Way much better. Just pulling a little bit more down. So the techniques we use, it's pretty much the same. Just the difference is this one we went with an image, the other one we went only with the texture of an image, only the texture, and then we did everything else. This one we just kind of found a shirt with folds and then just put them in. So on the little ends we just delete, and then we use smudge, so we can get a better result here. A better, not so harsh transition. Okay, now we're gonna do the sleeves, because they're in different maps, which is okay. So we're pretty much gonna use part of this guy and make the sleeves. Oh, I found here a little mistake. We're gonna fix it like that. So we duplicate the group, merge, same thing over and over again, and then we sharpen, so you can bring all the texture out. It's a very repeating process, but I like it. So I should have the sleeves though. This is the pants we did earlier. This is the image we're using. There we go. Now we have the sleeves. We bring up this guy. So we have the texture here. Now we Control E, make a new layer here. We paint the bottom one black. Same again, we're going to make our mask, a smooth mask on the edges, like we do for every single texture. So we can have our mask so we can cut the texture in and work easier. And apply like just like that. It already looks pretty good. We just need to do now some tweaking. Applying the modifier. Checking the UV map, see if I'm on the right spot. Now we're gonna see how it looks. It's as simple as this. This technique is very simple and very good results if you mix them both, especially. It's already looking pretty good.
Well, thank you so much, Deadly Sin. This looks amazing, and we're so excited to have this as a part of our catalog. If you found this tutorial useful, or if you try to texture yourself on top of this mesh, leave us a comment below, and also hit the like button at the bottom of this video. Subscribe to our channel for more tutorials, and as always, we'll see you on IMVU.